we have Norm Alvis with us. He's a former Olympian, 1988 Olympics, and Tour de France rider, and we had the good fortune to have him ride the Assault on the Peak last year. Norm, thanks for talking with us.
Certainly my pleasure, and I had the good fortune of being able to ride up the mountain. I appreciate you guys putting it together because that's a spectacular ride.
Well, tell us how. I mean, you're a guy who's ridden up more than 2 or 3 mountains in your life. How does this compare with some of the other rides you've done?
Well, I'll tell you, for starters, the beginning of the climb is just about the highest that you'll get in Europe, and then you climb farther than probably any other climb in Europe from that top. So that's one perspective. It is a really, really hard climb. I can think of a few climbs in the Alps that are as long, but you take something like the Cormet de Roseland, which was not far from where I lived, and it might be 40K. I think that's the one that's that long, but it doesn't have nearly the average grade that the ride up Pikes Peak does.
Well, I take it that now that you're retired from racing, at least on the professional level, you're doing this for fun at this point. And would you characterize the ride you had as fun, enjoyable, a great challenge? How come you wanted to do it?
It's funny to put it like that. Yes, I ride for fun. I still race Masters racing just a teeny bit because I just like riding my bike, right? But I'll tell you, the ride up that hill, I don't train that much. I might ride my bike 1,000 miles a year, but the ride up Pikes Peak was absolutely grueling. For one, you have to have the right gearing. I didn't have that good a gearing, and I basically went as hard as I could for the shape that I have for 3 hours. I was going full gas, and quite frankly, I wasn't sure that I would make it. Going through the dirt section, just after halfway, I was pretty much set on stopping right there, but a smooth road after the dirt beckoned, and I thought, well, I'll try a little bit more. So it's fun to talk about in retrospect, and I ride for fun, but that was really, really hard.
Well, let me ask you this question. If you're not going flat out, someone who perhaps isn't as driven as you are to whenever you get on the bike going flat out, would you recommend it as a ride that an average rider could go do, take their time, stop for the scenery and the rest stops and enjoy the ride?
Yes, actually. If someone has very little riding experience, probably the first half would be quite enjoyable and quite doable, because I could see a very not that experienced rider enjoying the first half, or wherever the rest station would come in, and someone who is maybe more of an avid rider with nice equipment, even going all the way to the top, would be an enjoyable ride. Having company would help, so bring a friend or two along, because it is quite an experience. And I'll say this, the ride down was something unexpected. I wasn't thinking about, I got to get to the top of this hill for the ride back down, but absolutely a delightful reward for having worked so hard. It is very, very pretty up there, and in the summer, it's nice and cool up there as opposed to being sweltering down below. So that was very enjoyable to come back down. But yeah, I'd say it's a ride that most people could do. But if you don't have a lot of experience and good equipment, the first half is probably more suitable.
Well, good. Well, tell me, are you going to give it another shot?
Absolutely. I'm going to have to get on my bike pretty soon because, ironically, I haven't ridden my bike since I went up Pikes Peak. I ended up changing jobs and this and that, and I literally have not been on my bike since I went up Pikes Peak, and I'm not going to go up it having not ridden.
So you wouldn't suggest this being your one ride of the year, huh?
No, not unless you started from the top and went down.
Well, Norm, thanks. Thanks for giving us your perspective on it, and it's good talking to you, and we hope to see you on the mountain this summer.
All right. It's great talking to you, Mark, and I strongly suggest people try that out because it's not often that you get to ride up Pikes Peak, only by the courtesy of you guys putting on this event. And there are very, very few mountains or mountain roads in the world that are on a par with the ride up Pikes Peak.